I feel that the last 6 months have been really good for the industry, contrary to most of what's being heard today, is because we went through a reset in this industry where the focus was on technology, innovation. It was largely focused on investments and growth and scaling up too rapidly. Where I feel that the focus of this industry truly needs to be on solutions, business models, profitability, and creating sustainable companies that truly understand and solve customer needs. And I think that change I've seen happening this in the last 6 months. There are a lot of companies that were focused just on technology are either being folded or going out of business, but the ones that remain are truly focused on solutions and providing real value to customers that was needed in this industry. Well, it is fragmented. There are new startups coming up all the time. You will see that not one big company has a big market share. And I think this trend will continue. I do not feel it's necessarily bad, but I feel that the new startups should also focus on applications and solutions and not just bring out new technology. And if that continues, we have the potential of many of these smaller companies becoming big companies and leaders in the industry. And from that respect, I feel fragmentation by itself is not bad as long as the focus is correct. So the reason we have this policy of calling every customer every 2 weeks is 3D printing by in itself is just not a replacement of a printer with something else. You really truly have to replace a workflow and an entire application at a customer site. And in most cases, that requires some consultative sort of working with the customer and forming a partnership such that you help them adopt the solution and truly excel at it. The other aspect of it is you truly want to make sure that your equipment and the solution that you provided is totally reliable, it's working, and if the customer needs support, then you are preemptively giving them support rather than they having to call you back. It also helps a lot in understanding what the future needs of the customers are. And in all those respects, I think it has helped us truly serve the customer in a better way. So yes, so typically AM technology is considered something that is replacing traditional technologies. But the fact remains that there is several steps of pre-processing that happens and there's several steps of post-processing. You start with a design and you design for AM. You truly then pre-prepare a print that you would want to make. And perhaps it's the same type of print or different types of prints. You actually then print the objects, you post-process the objects, you finish the objects, and then you actually use them where they need to be used. This entire process needs to be optimized for 3D printing and additive as it is adopted in the company. And that whole workflow requires a cultural change, it requires a shift, and it requires a use of the right equipment and the right solutions across the entire workflow, right from design to the end part, and not just the AM or the 3D printing portion of it. So I feel some of the companies which are ingrained in traditional manufacturing also need a cultural change, and a whole generation needs to sort of ramp up to additive manufacturing. It's very tough to make that happen in a very short time amount of frame. But for the new engineers and the new children and the new students that are coming up, it is important for them to immerse into 3D printing right from the beginning. And to make that happen, it's important whether it's libraries, whether it's school environments, whether it's educational institutes, it is important to put a few printers because essentially 3D printing is unique in a way where you use all aspects of STEM that you can think of. There's mechanical engineering, there's software engineering, design, CAD, material science, geometry, algebra. All aspects of what you actually learn can be applied very immediately into an environment. And then there's the creative aspect of 3D printing where you can design something and mass produce it or make it custom for yourself. And that aspect really gets students engaged. They get them interested into technology, STEM, and it really brings up better engineers in the future, which will then help truly make a cultural change in companies as these children get into the workforce.